Today we're going to look at the second day of graphing. So let's see if we can make this a little larger. So if we remember about graphing, we started this a couple days ago. So sine always starts at that middle. Cosine usually starts at the high point. The period is 2 pi over b. A is your amplitude. C is the left-right shift, the phase shift. And D is your vertical shift. So we're going to take a look at graphing a couple of these. So this first one that we look at, let's see. Our amplitude would be 3. Our B value is 2, so our period is 2 pi over 2, which is pi. And then there isn't a C or D. So if we start graphing this, we're going to graph a positive and a negative cycle. Well, I know it goes up to 3 and down to negative 3. And it goes right through this middle. So we have our highs and our lows there. And let's see those critical points. Let's see, we take our period and divide it by 4, so it's pi over 4. So if we were to label this, this is 1 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, pi over 2, 3 pi over 4, and pi. And then we just have to graph it. Well, let's see. Cosine usually starts high, but it's negative, so it's going to go down here, middle, high, middle, low. So there's that side, and then it would go to the middle, high, middle, low. And we have our graph. So this next one, our A value is 4, B value is excuse me. So that means our period is 2 pi over pi, which is 2. And we know it goes down 2. So again, if we were to graph this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, I know it goes down 2. So this is that new midline here is at negative 2. And our amplitude is 4. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's see, that's going to be at 2, because that distance is 4 and the amplitude's 4. So negative 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. This is going to get caught in that next one, but that's okay. So this would be at, it's a little bit off here. We got negative 6, because that distance is 4. So our critical point, CP, we take our period, 2 divided by 4, so that's half. So we have half, 1, 1.5, and 2. And it's sine. So sine usually starts in the middle, and there's no right-left shift, so it's just going to start there. The next one would go high, middle, low, middle. And going backwards, we got low, middle, high, middle. And we have our sine one there. So 2 more that we're going to look at here. Let's see. Well, one thing I notice is we have a theta divided by 2, so we're going to need to factor that out. So y equals 4 the sine of 1/2 theta. If we factor out a half, let's see, that's just supposed to be a minus there. This would be 2 pi, because 2 pi times half is pi, minus 6. So our amplitude is 4. B equals half. So we have 2 pi divided by half. So 2 pi times 2 over 1, so it's 4 pi, is our period. Minus 2 pi, so it goes to the right, pi over right 2 pi, excuse me, and down 6. And I could do those critical points. Our critical points, 4 pi over 4 is just pi. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know this is 1 pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, and 4 pi. Down 6. So one thing we could do is we could just label this line -6 if we wanted to. And then our amplitude is 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Up here would be -2, 1, 2, 3, 4, -10, because our amplitude is 4. And let's see, where does this start? So sine normally starts in the middle, but to the right pi over 2. Excuse me, it's plus. I somehow switched that sign. So this should be to the left pi over 2. So 2 pi is, excuse me, to the left 2 pi, which is 2 marks, so 1, 2. And then it would go high, middle, low, middle, high, middle. Going backwards, middle, low, middle. And we have our sine. So this next one, it's already factored. So amplitude is 2, b value is 2, so our period is 2 pi over 2, which is pi. Our critical points would be at pi, every pi over 4. It goes to the right, pi over 4, and down 3. So again, if we wanted to, we could label this midline as -3, or we could go down 3. So -3, and then our amplitude's 2, 1, 2. So that's -1, 1, 2. -5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, pi over 2, 3 pi over 4, and pi. Sorry, that got really messy. It's cosine, so it starts high, but it's negative, so it goes down here, but to the right pi over 4, so it's going to start here. So then it would go middle, high, middle, middle, high, middle, low, middle. And we have that one. Now, the last thing we're going to take a look at is on the back page, and this is something a little different. We've started part of this, but it's something slightly different than what we did on day 9. So we're asked to write some of these equations here. So if we take a look at this first one, write the equation of a cosine function with amplitude of 9.8 and a period of 6 pi. So it's cosine. So our period, we can get our b value, because 6 pi equals 2 pi over b times b. b times 6 pi equals 2 pi. Divide by 6 pi. So b equals 1/3. So our equation would be y equals 9.8 times the cosine of 1/3 x. So if we were to graph this, we know it's just 9.8 and -9.8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Well, our period is 6 pi. Our critical points, 6 pi over 4, so 3 pi over 2. So 3 pi over 2, 6 pi over 2, or 3 pi, 9 pi over 2. Cosine starts high, so high, middle, low, middle, high. Middle, low, middle, high. And we have our cosine. And this last one that we're going to look at, amplitude of 4, period of pi, phase shift, and a vertical shift. So again, our period is 2 pi over b. So it's pi equals 2 pi over b. Well, I know b has to be 2. So that equation an amplitude of 4. The sine, our period b value is 2. X, it's right, minus pi over 2 plus 3. So if we were to graph this, it's plus 3, so I could say that this is 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be negative 1.
Good morning.
And then we could
The
go
ninth grade bar meeting is starting right
4
now
on
room
each side.
C350.
So
Ninth
our
grade bar
period
meeting
is
starting right
pi.
now. Thank
Our
you.
critical points are pi over 4. So 1 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, pi over 2, 3 pi over 4, and pi. Sine usually starts in the middle, but to the right, pi over 2. So it's going to start here. So high, middle, low, middle, high, middle, low, middle. And we have our sine curve.